Hey there, Breakfast Clubbers. I'm your host, Kelly Guentner of Phoenix Sisters, and this is part of the Back of the Cereal Box podcast. Welcome back to another week. This week, a special treat for you. It's a big book. We are going to be talking about this book made headlines. Ed Brubaker's The Death of Captain America. Are you all young enough? Not that it came out that long ago, but I know some of you are real young whippersnappers. Are you all young enough to remember when this came out and the splash it made? Oh boy. So, when Captain America was killed, comic book characters were not killed quite as frequently. And so it made the news. And it made some splashes. People didn't know if Steve Rogers was coming back. And it had ripples throughout the Marvel Universe. This was a big storyline. It was just huge. So this came at the end of the big Civil War storyline where Cap and Iron Man went toe-to-toe and everyone chose sides, and it was the discussion of whether or not superheroes should have to register and with the government and make their identities public. Cap was anti-registration, anti-government, which for what you think of Captain America, he's a symbol of America, having him be anti-government is interesting. But at the same time, it makes a lot of sense for what we really know about the character and the heart of who he is. So Captain America had been arrested at the end of Civil War for going up against the government, and he was being escorted to his trial, and he gets shot. And that is the start of the book. So even though the book is called The Death of Captain America, this big, huge tome deals with the aftermath, and it deals with what Steve's loved ones do and how they deal and who takes up the mantle afterwards. This may be a spoiler, but it's Bucky. And Bucky has only recently come back, or, been discovered to have been Winter Soldier and come back to himself and remembered who he was, but really not been in touch with many people. So the fact that he is taking on the Stars and Stripes is quite the journey. It's very interesting. The reveal of who actually shot the gun that killed Captain America is quite shocking. It's quite messed up. There are so many twists and turns in this book. It's just bonkers. It's a soap opera. It's wild. It's wonderful. It's really good storytelling. Just Ed Brubaker is a master. He's one of the comics greats. His Captain America stories especially are just so far up there. This is a must read. It's very, very heady, very complex. It has a lot to say. It does have some political commentary, I would say, framed in a nice sci-fi package. It's beautiful. The art. So we have Mike Perkins doing some of the art, Lee Weeks and Stefano Godino, Steve Epting, who is a common collaborator with Ed Brubaker. We have Butch Guice doing inking, Roberto De La Torre, just lots of talent here. So here is one of the fantastic splash pages, lots of dynamic action going on throughout this book, lots of interpersonal stories told. The grief is really explored well. What people, Captain America as a symbol and what he means to people is explored. What he means to people personally is explored. It's just so beautifully done. I cannot say enough good things about this book. You just need to pick it up and read it. I'm not going to spoil anything. I mean, spoilers for a book that's been out for more than a few years, but still, I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't read it, pick it up. Your local comic shop may or may not have it. Go in and ask them for it. If they don't have it, Amazon does have the complete volumes. So definitely check this out. I highly recommend it. It is worthwhile reading. And you will be able to see a lot of pieces from this book that were mined for the MCU, which is always fun to see. So I want to hear from you. What is your favorite death of a superhero story that's been told? Because obviously there's been a lot of those. And some of them have been done well, some not so well. So sound off in the comments. Also, what is your favorite Cap story? There's been some good ones. So sound off in the comments. Hit that like button. Please share this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. And I hope you all have a great week. Happy reading.